let's gossip.
Hey friends, welcome to another vlog. Hope you're well. Everything around me is very chaotic right now, but that's okay. Today is the first day of Smash and I'm really excited for it. We're about to leave. It is about 10:30 a.m. But I just wanted to do a little check-in before we go, talk about how I'm feeling, etc. Smash is 2.5 days this year. Saturday, Sunday, and then it's like half of today, which is Friday. We have until 5:30 p.m. to set up, so we have a really long time. Bumping started at 9 a.m. I'm glad that it started late because I woke up late today. Right now I'm feeling pretty anxious, really sleep deprived, so I'm struggling to form thoughts in my head right now. But I'm super duper excited for this event. This will be the biggest event that I have this year unless I get into Comic-Con, which is another really big event here in Sydney. Yeah, it'll be my first actual convention. So far I've only been doing markets, but this is like a full-on convention with like panelists and shows and like a full-on program and everything. I'm worried that there's a lot of things that could go wrong, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I've got my partner helping me out. We're about to go now, so I'll see you there. Hello?
No. Quando o piano já não quer mais tocar e as teclas pretas não saem do lugar. Quando o corno inglês tem que ir pro xadrez, porque não tem mais onde ficar. Quando o prelúdio nem começar e a cena breve cansar de respirar. Quando o trombone não quiser assoprar e os dedos da harpa não vão dedilhar. Quando todo mundo cantar a capela, porque a orquestra vai parar.
Isn't that song? Okay.
Ominous.
Why are you doing that? This is what the back looks like. I forgot to put a sign for my sticker sheets yesterday. We're going to rearrange it a bit. We're gonna move this to here because yesterday people weren't looking at these sticker sets when they were looking at the stickers. They couldn't see it.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
I am tired.
It is cold. Oh, I'm actually pretty warm in here. If I stand close to it, it's like really dark. Spooky. This is the state of the back. Everything is like an organized mess. These keep us fueled every market. Just a big bag of these. They're so good. My bag is a mushroom hat. He's a worker. All the workers have mushroom hats. You got a little... You gotta turn around, babe. Yeah. Hello, I am back home. Every time I come back from a market, I feel like my legs just hurt so bad. I just wanted to give you an update on how today went. I didn't really get to give an update last night because we got home a little later and I was just really tired. I just really needed to catch up on sleep, so I wasn't able to chat. Last night was a half day, not even a half day, it was literally 3 hours, 5:30 to 8:30, and it was just an extra night that Smash put on for charity. I think that the exhibitors and Artist Alley were open and there were maybe like 1 or 2 performances, but the entire convention wasn't open yet last night. It was mainly for people that just wanted to like browse the Artist Alley early. I know a lot of people also went because they wanted to get Labubus from Pop Mart, but last night was really quiet, so I was really worried that today wasn't going to be good. I wasn't able to break even yesterday because again it was just 3 hours, so not really much time I think, and not much of a crowd compared to today. Today went really well. I'm really happy with how I did. I'm really hoping that tomorrow is also as good, but I feel like it's going to be a little less because it is Sunday. It was really busy for most of the time. One of my main concerns was that because the Artist Alley this year is split up into 2 different levels, that more people would go to the other level and maybe not see that there were more Artist Alley stalls on my level. Although I do feel like we had the main advantage of being on the main level of the convention, so we were near like the exhibitors and stuff as well, and there was a constant flow of traffic. I think there were maybe a few times when it was quiet, mainly at the start and at the end of the day, but apart from that I feel like the traffic was pretty good and frequent. So for this event I released a new collection and I was able to sell out of 2 of my prints in the A3 size. I really regret not printing more of them. I was worried that they wouldn't sell very well and people would want the smaller versions of them, but people actually asked for the bigger version and I had to tell them that I didn't have any more of them. I do have some saved for tomorrow though, just so that the Sunday people don't miss out as well. But yeah, I was really surprised by that because I definitely thought people would buy the smaller one. Something crazy did happen though after the convention ended today. The table across from me completely collapsed. It was scary, but basically right at the end of the day there was just like this big crash and I looked across from me and that entire table had just like collapsed onto the ground. A bunch of people that were around obviously rushed to help, and honestly I feel like they had like 100 keychains out or something, but it was really scary. Unfortunately some of them were broken. I saw like some of them were chipped. I just feel like that's every convention artist's like worst nightmare, that is that their display doesn't last the whole event. The artist also wasn't there when it happened, so it was just the helper who was there and who had to kind of like deal with it. After we helped clean it up, they had to rebuild the display pretty much, and the staff also came over and tried to contact the artist, but the artist had an international number because they're from overseas, so it was hard to get in contact with them. Apart from that, I didn't really hear about any dramas, but I'm also not always in the loop, so maybe there was dramas. I don't know. No, that's definitely a lie. Let's gossip. I heard that some artists who submitted work for the Smash art book this year weren't included in the final book, which is really sad. I don't think it's paid at all. I would be really salty if that was me, because you could have been using that time to focus on your own products. And yeah, I really hope that those artists get compensated in some way. I feel like that's on the event organizers. Anyway, that's all the drama I've heard about so far. I need to restock stuff, so I'm gonna go do that. It is almost 9 p.m. I might also have dinner. I'm really happy that I got into this event, but I am also really waiting for it to be over so that I can sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. Wanted to share my fit for the day also. I love these shoes, but they are not great to stand with. Mushroom bag, I'm gonna use this for the whole con. I also used it yesterday because it fits the vibe of my table. I really want to get a mushroom hat as well. I feel like I'd wear it all the time. Oh, Sylvanian families! Oh my goodness! Oh my god! How cute! This is so my vibe. Look at the baby otters. How cute. So cute. When I was cutting them, I was like, surely this is too much. Yeah, that's the plan. When I was recording.
Anthony, what are you getting? What? What are you getting?
You ready?
I'm filming. Chest mount? with the hands. Look at her. She does it like this. She's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Very cute. Which one?
This one. That one. You like that one?
This one. Oh, bro. Look at how much crowd there is. Oh, look at this pink stuff. Ooh, let's go here.
I'm so mad because, guys, I just spent half an hour yapping about the recap and everything and there was no audio. I don't know why my mic is not charged. I'm just gonna go without a mic this time because I don't have any other time to do this. Okay, So let's start again. I am here to do my recap for Smash. I have my iPad because all the notes are in here. We're already in August, so it's 4th of August. Smash was like at least a few weeks ago, but I've been very busy. I was focusing on a new product collection, and I also had a market over the past weekend, so I wasn't able to record this or edit it. I'm very, very sorry. I was really hoping that I would have this video uploaded already. So I think I talked a lot about my experience with Smash already in the previous clips. We're just gonna go into the stats. Alright, let's talk about sales now. So regarding sales, the best day for me was Saturday, and the best time for me was 1 p.m. on that Saturday. The worst day, as I mentioned, was Friday, especially 5 p.m. Friday. I think the event started at 5:30, but on Square it just was set as 5 p.m. and that was the start of the event. I got my first sale on Friday 5:55 p.m, so about half an hour into the event, and my last sale was Sunday 4:46 p.m, about 15 minutes before the event ended. Compared to the previous markets I've done, the average transaction value was very high, almost double compared to some of my previous markets, which is very, very good. And the number of transactions I had for the whole event were 322. So the table cost was $440 for a full table, and that included like the table, 2 chairs, back wall, and as mentioned, the wide booth. I made the cost of the booth back on Saturday at 10:59 a.m, so about 1 hour into day 2, which is really good. So just based on sales, this has definitely been my best market so far. I only started tabling this year, and my first event was KaigaCon in January. And that event was actually my top event in terms of revenue for the whole year. So as you can imagine, I had very high expectations for the rest of my events. This has definitely overtaken that. I made double, or I think a little more than double here at Smash than what I did at KaigaCon. Absolutely amazing, because I already thought that KaigaCon was really good in terms of revenue. So let's also talk about the types of items I sold, just for some insight. I think I had 128 types of products. I'm not entirely sure. I know that there were some sticker designs I decided not to put out, and I can't really remember which ones they were, but I had around 128 to, let's say, 130 different items. And of those 128 items, I had 7 different categories of items. So I had prints, which ranged from like A3 size prints, which is my largest prints, and also the smallest prints were 12 centimeter square prints. Very different price ranges. So the other categories I had were bookmarks. I had 4 bookmark designs, die cut stickers. I don't know how many die cut stickers I have. Keychains, I think I have like maybe less than 10 different designs of keychains. Mugs, I had 3 designs of mugs and 3 designs of notepads, and sticker sheets, which I have maybe like 15 or something, I don't know. I didn't write these down unfortunately, but I just wanted to mention my product variety. So if you've watched my videos before, or you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I have 2 different brands. I've got Abracadeborah and the Honey Mustard Club. Abracadeborah is kind of like my artist name, but it's also the name that I sell a lot of my original art and fan art under. And the Honey Mustard Club is supposed to be like a TTRPG based shop, but it's not really, because I haven't been working on it because I've been so focused on markets. I'm gonna make a video about it soon though. I'm telling you this to keep myself accountable. Anyway, when I go to markets, I bring a mix of those products, and in this case I sold 563 items that were of the Abracadeborah brand and 172 items of the Honey Mustard Club brand. So altogether I sold 735 items. Going back to those 128 different kinds of products, 20 of them did not sell at all, like they sold 0 times. 64 of them sold between 1 to 5 times. 23 of them sold between 6 to 10 times, 8 of them sold between 11 to 14 times, 7 of them sold between 15 to 19 times, and 6 of them sold over 20 times, which is absolutely crazy. Usually only like a few things will sell over 20 times in my previous markets. So let's talk about those items, or my bestsellers. I think it's also important to note that for this event, I released a new collection, and that is my Field Notes of Fiction collection. So this is kind of like a fan art collection. I don't really know how to describe it, like inspired by botanical studies and stuff. So for this first series, I've released these 4 posters. They're all inspired by like botanical illustrations and diagrams and stuff. I was pretty happy with the reception of these posters. Yeah, let's talk about my top 3 products in terms of quantity. Surprisingly, my festive bookmark was my bestseller in terms of quantity. Like, I'm extremely surprised that I sold so many of these. I sold over 30 of these and I'm still like mind blown about it because it's not fan art. This is my original art from the Honey Mustard Club. The second bestseller was this sticker sheet, and this is not surprising at all because this is like always in my top 3 bestsellers. My third bestseller was a tie between these two, and I say that because I sold out of both of them and I brought the same amount. Honestly, these 2 posters could have maybe been second place, except I didn't bring a lot of them. Like I said, it was a new collection for this event, and so I didn't want to bring like too much stock in case that they couldn't sell. My top 3 categories in terms of quantity now. So I sold 308 prints, 206 stickers, and 131 sticker sheets. I think that these categories do the best because I have the most designs of them and they all have like bundle deals. Okay, now let's talk about my bestsellers in terms of revenue, which is very different from in terms of quantity. So these are like the products that brought me the most income, even if I didn't sell as many of them compared to other products. They are very similar though, and unsurprisingly, my top 3 revenue products, I'll put them up on the screen. As mentioned, these 2 sold out, and the third one is because the first one sold out. It's just a different size of that design, so that's not surprising at all. And in terms of categories that brought me the most revenue, it's pretty much the same as the categories that like sold the most. So prints, because again I have so many different prints, stickers, and then the sticker sheets. In previous events, my sticker sheets actually sold more than my die cut stickers. I did realize on the Friday I forgot to make a sign for my sticker sheets, so no one knew how much they were. And I think that also kind of made people not want to buy them because people don't really like asking for prices and stuff. I think that may have impacted why my sticker sheets this time did not sell as well as my stickers, although they did sell pretty well still. So I sold out of a few things. I sold out of these 2 posters in A3 size and this sticker sheet, partly also because I didn't restock it after the Saturday. Surprisingly, I sold out of my green fruit mugs. I say surprisingly because I didn't expect anyone to buy these. I also have these in notepads, and these were the only notepads that I sold. I did not sell the other 2 designs of notepads. I have literally just this fruit one. For some reason, people really liked it. And I find that really ironic because when I was making it, I remember not really liking the fruit one as much. It was my least favorite design. Of my top 10 items that sold the most, 7 out of 10 of those items were fan art items, unsurprisingly. You can probably already guess what they are, but 5 of those things were literally just MapleStory stuff. One of those was this sticker set here, and the other one was this sticker sheet. In saying that though, I am surprised that some of my original art made it to the top 10, particularly, like I said, this festive goose bookmark that I have, that's the Honey Mustard Club. I'm so happy because I do love this design as well. I'm glad other people love it too. And my Lily of the Valley bookmark, as well as my Lily of the Valley print. Those were also really popular. Yeah, those are the stats that I have. So I also want to talk a little bit about the activity that I ran at my stall. I had a game where customers could roll a dice and win a prize regardless of what number they rolled, even if they rolled a 1. And all they had to do to play the game was to follow me on Instagram or subscribe on YouTube. So yeah, if you're here from that game, hello, I'm glad that you could join me today. Most people opted to follow on Instagram. I'm not sure if these are really exact numbers. I think I gained about 20-ish YouTube subscribers from this and over 100 Instagram followers. But I'm not sure if those Instagram followers are from this game specifically or they just saw me because of the event. Regardless, I think it was a good marketing strategy, and I hate using that term, like I hate using the jargon for it, but it was a good way for me to grow my customer base or like my online presence. I did monitor my Instagram followers a little bit after that time, and as expected, I did get some unfollows. I think that it still worked because I'm still growing, I think. And in general, I think that doing markets has really helped my Instagram account grow a lot as well. In terms of customer feedback and customer interactions, pretty much everyone was kind. I still haven't had the negative customer experience that a lot of artists go through. I think it's because the type of markets I do are usually catered towards a certain type of people who are more appreciative of art and artists. All of the bad experiences I've ever had with customers has been my own fault. There was one experience which was kind of negative that I had. I had a customer who wanted to buy something from me, and they noticed that I had this like activity on the table, so they asked about that. Basically forgot to charge them for the item that they wanted to buy. They played the game and they won something, and I already packaged up their order and given it to them. And I realized after I given it to them that I hadn't charged them yet. And I think they knew, because there was like a look on their face, like a look of realization that I hadn't charged them for it, and they just kind of went away, which made me a little bit sad, but it is what it is. They pretty much just wanted like a sticker sheet, so it wasn't like I was losing a lot of money. I was by myself during that time too, so usually when I have my partner with me, he's the one that takes care of charging the customers, and I will pack the order and interact with them and everything more. With like that whole thing and also trying to do the game thing for them, I couldn't keep track of everything, and yeah, it's my own fault. But we live and we learn, and that's okay. I hope that person likes my stickers still. Despite the fact that I made a new collection with more like MapleStory fan art, people still kept asking me if I had more MapleStory stuff. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to continue making more MapleStory stuff. I don't want to rule it out as like a complete, like I'm done with it, because I do have a lot of like nostalgia and love for that franchise, and I think that's what a lot of people who bought these products also feel. However, I don't want to be pigeonholed as like the artist that only makes fan art for this specific franchise. As we all know, fan art is a very like dicey kind of like grey area regarding like infringement and intellectual property and all of that kind of stuff, which I don't want to talk about. But I don't feel like it's safe to just make fan art of one kind of thing and make it your whole identity, because you don't know if the franchise is gonna like come after you and tell you to stop and like try to sue you, etc. People also ask me if I have more Lord of the Rings stuff. I do get this question quite a lot as well. It's definitely on my list. I just haven't had time to make it yet. If anything, I think that these kind of comments and also seeing what my bestsellers were kind of indicates that, you know, there is kind of like a lack of fan art for these franchises, because I don't personally think that my style is particularly unique, or honestly, I'm not very technically skilled. I just think that these fandoms are not really represented in the Artist Alley as much as, say, like Genshin Impact or like trending animes. And that's kind of expected, because this is a festival or convention that is based around Japanese media. Like, it's literally called Sydney Manga and Anime Show. So it's not typical that you would find a lot of these franchises in this kind of event. But I think my takeaway from this is really to just keep making the kind of art that I want to make and the fan art that I want to make. No matter how like niche you think it is, I can assure you that someone will like recognize it, especially if it's not oversaturated. Then I think people will buy it. Like with my botanical posters, I also had a Genshin one. This one didn't really sell very well, and I think that's because like a lot of people make fan art for Hoyoverse stuff because they are very liberal with their fan art policy. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is the revenue survey run by Peachcot, also known as Cotton. So Cotton pretty much runs a revenue survey for big events in Australia, and they did one for Smash, so I just want to talk a little bit about that. Like I mentioned, the Artist Alley was separated into 2 floors this year, level 4 and level 1, and I was put on level 1. I think a lot of artists who were put on level 4 faced a lot of issues up there. From what I understand, the lighting was really bad. There were issues with the walls falling and stuff, and unfortunately the organisers did not rectify these problems. I didn't have a chance to visit the level 4 Artist Alley, but this is just what I've been hearing, and it is a little bit sad. It is their first time, from what I know, doing the Artist Alley this way, and I think that Smash organisers really tried to put big artists on level 4 so that more crowds would go up to that level. I think it was quite interesting because, like I said, I think I had a prime placement. For the revenue survey, 101 artists responded, and keep in mind that there were at least 500 artists at Smash, because I didn't count all the half tables and stuff, but so like about 1/5 of artists responded to this survey, and surprisingly the revenue for both levels was very similar, even though there were more artists on level 4. Also not sure if this is a case of like the larger artists on level 4 not gaining as much exposure and revenue as usual, or like level 1 doing really well and it just kind of like evens it all out or whatever. But I will say that I did slightly higher than average according to this revenue survey. Like, I'm so very happy and thankful. I also just want to extend a very huge thank you to you all. The response on my last video was really amazing. I am now monetized on YouTube, which is really, really exciting. I'm still trying to figure out how it all works. Such an amazing milestone, and I honestly wasn't sure if I would get there this year. Thanks to you guys I have. Right now it's just kind of like pocket change. really small amounts, but I don't know, I'm really excited about it, and maybe it'll motivate me to keep making videos. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you also if you visited me at Smash. All of the lovely comments that I got and people who liked my setup. I'm so sorry if I didn't recognize you. I think I might have a bit of like facial blindness. I don't know. I really appreciate you regardless. You should definitely say something, especially if you're an artist mutual. I don't really know what a lot of my artist mutual friends look like. Just know that I'm really happy to see you, even if my face doesn't always show it. Thank you. Love you all very much. Have a wonderful day or night, whatever. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.